Good afternoon. Today we're going to focus on one of our new timepieces, our MadMan Traveler. It's an Ana-Digi world timer and it features the Citizen Miyota T270 movement, which is a fantastic movement. However, it is a little bit complicated on how to use all the different functions. So today we're going to focus in on the details of exactly how to use those different functions on the MadMan Traveler. The MadMan Traveler has a lot of different functionality to it, but before we get into the different functions of the timepiece, it's important to understand the pushers and what they're used for. You'll notice there are 3 pushers on the side of the case. One at 10 o'clock, one at 8 o'clock, and one over here at the 4 o'clock position. The one up here at 10 o'clock is very important because this is the button that changes the modes, which will allow you to go from one mode to another. The one down here at the 8 o'clock position, this is your select button, your select pusher. And then the one over here at the 4 o'clock position, this is your set pusher. This is where you can change the setting. And then again, over here, this is your select. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to show you how to set your time on the watch. This is a world timer, so it's going to show you the time all around the world in all 24 major time zones. But first you should set the local time to your time zone. Now we're in New York, so I have this showing as New York City Eastern Time Zone at the top. And currently it's showing that it's 4:34 in the afternoon, early evening here. So let's set the time for 7:30 at night, okay? The first thing you're going to do, and this is the key, is you're going to want to hold in for about 3 seconds this selecting button in order to be able to change the time. Watch what will happen. It jumps to Sao Paulo and then it jumps back to New York City and you see this flashing over here. So now we can change it. What you see that's flashing is called the summer time, which means daylight savings time. It says OF, which means off. Right above that OF is a little SMT, which stands for summertime. If you wanted to set daylight savings on, you would use this button at 4 o'clock to change it. Watch what happens. Now it's set to on, and I could turn it on by hitting it, but we're not in daylight savings time now. So let's go back to off, and now let's select off by pushing this button over here. Here's your seconds. Okay, so we want to start at 0, let's say, and we'll select there. Now we're at 36. I said we were going to set the time for 7:30 at night. So let's go ahead and push this ahead to 30 minutes. Be careful you don't go past it. 19, okay, I'm going to take it to 30. And again, I'm using the setting button over here at 4 o'clock. And 29, 30. And now we're going to use this button to select 30. And now we're going to change the hour to 7 p.m. at night. And again, we're going to use the setting button at 4 o'clock to change that. 5, 6, 7. And there's your 7:30. Now, how do you know it's in 7:30 at night? Above the 7, right there, there's a little PM. Okay, we're in AM/PM mode. So we want to select that. And we're going to use this button to select it. And there's your time. Now, this is to tell you which mode you like to set your watch in, either the 12-hour mode, which is AM/PM, or the 24-hour mode, which is military time. So currently, you saw the AM/PM, we're in 12-hour mode, and there's the 12H. If I want to accept 12 hours, I can push the selector. But let's say I want to use military time. I would change it by using the setting button over here, and now there's your 24-hour mode. And if I select that, 7:30 at night should be what, 1900. So if I select it, there it is at 1931. But let's say I really prefer the AM/PM. I can go back by, once again, I have to hold this button in for about 3 seconds. And then now we're in the changing mode. We can go off. Let's put it back to off. Select off on the daylight savings. We're going to leave the seconds. We're going to leave the minutes. We're going to leave the hours, and on the 24-hour indicator, I want to go back to AM/PM mode. I'm just more comfortable with that, and I'm going to select that, and now we're at 7:32 in New York City. Okay, But let's say I want to see what time it is in Los Angeles. I can scroll through the cities either up or down by using these two pushers here. So let's say I use the pusher over here. Actually, let's use this pusher here. I think that's the right direction. Nope, that's Sao Paulo. It's going the other way. Let's use this pusher to go to the west. There's Mexico at 6:30. And as you scroll through the cities, there's 6:32. So if it's 7:30 in Los Angeles, it's 6:30 in Chicago. There's Dallas-Fort Worth, which is the same time as Chicago. There is San Diego, which is LA time. And there's your 4:32 in LA. So as you scroll through your cities, there's LAX. As you scroll through the cities, it actually adjusts the time all around the world. There's Sydney. And you also, with your watch, you will get a list showing you what the abbreviations stand for. And you can also download that from our website as well. There's Moscow. That's 3:30 in the morning in Moscow. So you get the idea how to set your time all around the world. But now we want to set the date. And let's first bring this Rome, Paris, London. Let's bring this back to New York City. So here's New York City, 7:33. But we want to set the date. When you want to go from the time to the date, you're going to use your top pusher, your mode, up here at 10 o'clock, and watch what happens. One push, and we now are in the calendar mode. It says 5:14, which is May 14th. The way you can tell you're in calendar mode is down here below that 5 in the corner, there's a little CAL. Okay? Now, let's change it. Again, to change it, what are you going to do? You're going to hold this button in for a few seconds until you get the flash, and there it is. Now we want to change it to March, because we're in March, so that's August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. And let's take it to March 9th, because that's today. So again, first of all, we have to select March by pushing this button. Now we're going to scroll through the days. We're going to go to March 9th. March 8th and March 9th. And we're going to select it. And now we have to select the year. It's already set on 2010. Now, once you tell it it's 2010 by clicking this, it'll automatically set the day of the week, because inside it has a perpetual calendar, and they know March 9th in 2010 is a Tuesday. So now you have set your date. And then if you push the mode button one more time, it goes back to actually this is your alarm function. You can actually set an alarm. If you see down here below the 1244, there's a little ALM. That's for alarm. And currently the ON tells you that it's on, and it's currently set for an alarm to go off at 12:44 p.m. You see the little PM above the 2? So if I want to set my alarm, I can use this pusher over here just by holding it in for a few seconds, and I can turn it off and on. It's currently on. Now it's off, so there'd be no alarm. And I could hit select and it would be off. But if I want to set my alarm, I could actually set it, select on, and we now have to, I would have to hold it in. There we go. And I can change, what time I want to set the alarm for. So if I want to set it for, 7, whatever time, 11 o'clock at night, and then select, you can change your minutes. And it makes a little beep, beep, beep. We won't demonstrate that here. You can play with that at home. But you see how to set the alarm. And then to get out of the alarm mode, you would just push this button.